And so to kind of just kick it off, I know we're talking about the illegal red snapper and tuna enforcement act. Now to kind of just start off first base question, tell me a little bit about that act and how it benefits us here in South Texas.
Well, sure. So fishing is enormously important to the economy in Texas and especially South Texas and Corpus. Red snapper is a vast and wonderful natural resource, and we have seen a consistent problem of Mexican fishermen illegally fishing and stealing our snapper, coming in Mexican lanchas, stealing our snapper, and then selling it back to us that they have fished in our waters. It is a serious problem. It is exacerbated by the fact that the Mexican drug cartels are financing this illegal fishing. And so I've been leading the effort to ensure there are more law enforcement resources, Coast Guard resources to fight against the illegal fishing. And then just this week, the Senate passed my legislation. It's bipartisan legislation, the Illegal Red Snapper and Tuna Enforcement Act. And what that does is directs the federal government to develop scientific tests to ascertain the origin of fish so that when you purchase fish, you can determine from where they were fished, what their origin is, so you can identify if you're purchasing snapper from Mexico, whether they were fished in Mexican waters or American waters. That will enable fighting the illegal fishing to be far more successful.
And so when it comes to those testing kits, just how soon could we see them here in the coastal bend, and kind of just what would they contain? Kind of tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, the legislation does not purport to solve the scientific question. Rather, it directs the scientific agencies in the executive branch to develop effective tests. So what exactly those tests would look like, I'll leave to the scientists. But it lays out the policy objective that we want a test that would be quick, that would be effective, and that would determine the origin of the fish, because that would vastly aid the law enforcement effort in terms of stopping, deterring, and punishing illegal fishing.
And what role do you see these tests playing with local law enforcement? Kind of just how would that help their mission to kind of just curb this?
Well, it would be a natural part of Customs and Border Patrol that if you're bringing in fish from Mexico to the United States, if you could test it rapidly and discover, okay, these fish were caught in American waters, you know those are illegally fished, and you can right there, you can potentially arrest the person bringing them in, you can seize the cargo, and doing that, after you do that enough times, they stop bringing the fish in illegally, and hopefully over time they stop fishing illegally in American waters, because American waters and those fish, those are Americans. Texans should be the one. It should be Texas fishermen fishing. You know, I'll tell you, having grown up on the Gulf Coast my whole life, there are few things more wonderful than fishing in the Gulf. Going snapper fishing it is great fun, and we have a lot of fishermen who make their livelihood fishing, and right now, the Mexican lanchas, what they're doing is wrong, it is abusive, and it is being funded by criminal drug cartels. And so we need serious law enforcement to press back and stop it.
And do you feel that these testing kits can realistically help curb that illegal fishing?
I do. If we have quick and effective tests at the border, we can test a load of fish, determine where it came from, and shut anything down that is illegally fished.